playing with this.
Oh, it's playing!
Welcome to the first inaugural episode of...
It's just redundant.
Shut up. Save It for the Podcast.
Episode 0.
My name is Jack, and I will be joined at the round table with my 4 friends who...
It literally is round.
It is round. All right, take it away. Introduce yourselves.
All right, hi, I'm Joe. I don't really have any other intro other than that, but hi, I'm Joe.
Perfect.
I'm Mitch.
Perfect.
Talk a little louder. All right. My name's Cancerman, the Roy Meister.
We all hate Roy.
God damn.
And my name is Bullius Goozler.
God damn.
So this is the first episode. We're pretty much just going to be talking about kind of a little bit of what to expect with our podcast, and we're going to do a little segment that we've been planning for all of 24 hours. So we've taken a lot of time into this. Shut up, Joe.
That English.
Shut up, Joe. Shut up, Joe. Shut up, Joe. Shut up, Joe. Okay.
All right.
You're going to be hearing a lot of that, by the way.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
We're pretty much a podcast that likes to talk about anything like pop culture, rating from, going from movies to books to music to everything.
To local dicks.
That's not pop culture.
Shut up.
The fuck up.
And we'd also
Stop it.
We'd also like to we'll talk about like philosophy. We're big on like learning about the human mind and all that, so we'll do a bunch of that stupid shit. Today,
Where's Bullen?
we're bulling. That's who
That's
we
what
are.
we're doing.
In order for you guys, we've thought about doing a podcast for a long time. We thought about doing like a year ago. We were at our local Chinese buffet place, and shut up, Mitch. We're telling the story.
Japan.
No,
We're telling a fucking story.
Telling the
That's what
story.
we're doing.
and we kind of came up with the idea of starting a podcast. And we've had people who've said that we couldn't do it. And we didn't listen to them. We planned it out. We wanted to get it out during the winter break. Didn't happen, unfortunately. But we've finally found time. We finally found all the right equipment that we need to put it out for you guys over the summer. No, we didn't. We're still struggling, but that's okay. So yeah, let us know if you like it. If you don't care. We're still going to be making these for ourselves.
Anyway, I think it's time to segment.
Our segment today, we're all big film guys. We all love movies. That's pretty much like what draws us together. We purchase movies, we go see movies, we watch movies together at home.
Wow, it's like we're people.
You keep being a dude. Shut up, Joe! Shut up, Joe! Shut up, Joe! Shut up, Joe! Woo! Woo! So we thought about doing a top 10 of our favorite movies. And this is a really hard topic for us because we like movies from far to wide, everything. It's so hard to narrow down your top 10 favorites. And a lot of us kind of struggle. I'm a film major, so it's hard for me to pick 10 movies that I think are my favorite. And, Roy, he's also a huge movie guy. And Jeremy, the three of us tend to go see movies together. It's really hard to narrow that down. And Joe, when he has time, he likes to catch a movie or two. And Mitch, whenever he's not being a bitch, we'll watch a movie.
Got him.
So we'll do it.
We'll do it family style.
So we're gonna do honorable mentions first. We'll all name off some honorable mentions if we have honorable mentions, and then we'll do 10. We'll each talk about our top, like number 10, number 9, number 8, and so on and so forth, till we get to 1. So we'll start off with Jeremy. You have some honorable mentions you'd like to share.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact.
Also, before we start, I'd like to apologize for all the clicking. That's my dog Rosie. She is
Adorable.
She's adorable. She's a pretty baby.
All right.
She doesn't know when to stop moving.
All right. Shut up, Joe. Okay.
I read it. I love it.
All right.
What is?
So, don't look at the Lindsay note.
You better not be doing what I think you're doing.
All right. So, a couple honorable mentions. We've got number 1, The Shining. We got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
Great movie.
We got Taxi Driver, Martin Scorsese.
That's not in your top 10?
No.
Interesting. That's interesting list.
And a nice little combination of Psycho and Psycho 2.
Interesting.
No,
Joe?
Psycho 4.
Yeah, what about, no Psycho 4?
It's up there.
Okay.
Top 25, probably.
Joe, do you have any honorable mentions? You can shout out one if you want.
Honorable mentions would probably have to.
Well, you don't have your list, so you should just keep it at that.
I have an internal list.
Okay.
Bad times 7.
No, that's not even in my honorable.
Give a little context.
Yeah.
No, they don't need context. We'll give that to them later. They'll have to learn through the
All right, we'll
board.
tease them with a little teaser.
All you need to know is that Joe's a mongoloid. That's all.
I can't edit that out. I don't know how to edit that out, so I'm not gonna edit it out.
Perfect.
So fuck it.
Perfect.
Fuck it. All right. Fuck it. We'll do it live. All right.
We're just booing,
Joe.
guys.
Joe.
Episode 0.
Booing.
Joe.
I'm just trying to play Pokemon while we do this.
All
damn
right,
it.
Joe.
All right.
Give me your
All right,
honorable
so my
mention.
honorable mentions would probably have to be Avatar by James Cameron, not the abortion. That
What?
Good movie. I like that movie.
Okay.
A lot of people.
It's a fun movie.
Are you excited for the sequel?
I am, and this is not the top 10 best. It's our top 10 favorite and honorable mentions.
I'm gonna be judging him by his favorite.
Yeah, we're all
Trust me, and-
Yeah.
we're all going to be judging each other on this one.
Yeah.
All right, so Avatar, James Cameron, not the abortion. That was the Last Airbender. We don't need
Good
to talk
movie.
about it.
Go on.
Probably. What else would I have to? Another one might have to be Apocalypse Now.
Ooh,
It's
good
one of my
movie.
honorable-
Great
honorable
movie.
mentions.
You excited for that new cut that's coming up?
Actually, yeah, even though it's already long as hell.
Dude, it can be 5 hours long just to watch it. All right.
Another one in a similar vein would be Platoon.
Good movie.
Enjoy,
Yeah.
and might be controversial, but Hurt Locker.
I'm not a big fan of that movie, but I
find it
understand
enjoyable.
why.
I
It's
find it enjoyable.
you have honorable mentions, Mitch? You said you had 5? Okay. What do you got?
Alright, so for my honorable mentions, I have The Sandlot, Gran Torino, Inglourious Bastards, Silence of the Lambs,
Yeah.
and then Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
My
Ooh,
favorite. One of my
Good.
favorites.
Okay, interesting. Do you have any?
No.
Okay. I have a
Simple.
I know, right?
I have a couple.
By couple, he means probably 30.
Take your time, please.
Okay. Empire Strikes Back, the whole Star Wars original trilogy. Had to take that off. A little movie called Persona by Ingmar Bergman, Swedish film. That didn't make the top 10. A movie called La Notte by Antonioni, who you've added his stuff to your watch list, which I'm happy to see that, Jeremy. The Gold Rush, Charlie Chaplin's The Gold Rush did not make the list. I'm a big proponent of them. See, these are movies that could easily be in my top 10, so it's difficult. And the one that's I'm kind of kicking myself on at this moment, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, did not make my top 10, and I love that movie. Jeremy and I actually got to see that in the theater, about a month ago? No, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And it was just astounding. So what we're going to do round table. Jeremy's going to do his 10, talk about it. We'll chime in. And Joe, Mitch, Roy, myself.
Finally, you, the film major.
Finally me, because I'm the host for this one.
And you're also the film major.
Save the best for last. That's right. So, Jeremy, if you don't mind sharing your number 10 movie of all time. Of all time.
All time.
Okay, here we go.
A little movie from 1992. That movie would be called Reservoir Dogs by my favorite director, Quentin Tarantino.
Not surprised.
Good movie.
Just, fantastic movie. I mean, you got Tim Roth, Harvey Keitel, and then Michael Madsen.
Prob-
Blonde, one of my favorite characters.
Probably the best performance in that movie, I would say.
Oh yeah, he's definitely the best.
Yeah.
Mr. Blonde's great, and I love the how it's a heist movie, but you don't actually see the heist; you see everything behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it's to me, every time I watch it, I love it more and more. There was actually once a time where I thought that would be my favorite Tarantino movie. We'll get to some more Tarantino in a little bit. Trust me.
I really think that movie's important to American cinema because I started it kind of kicked off the independent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Independent-esque movies that we've been getting nowadays.
Yeah. Then Pulp Fiction kind of just skyrocketed.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction took it by storm. You guys have anything to say about Reservoir Dogs? Besides, have you guys seen it?
I really like Reservoir Dogs a lot. I really did. I remember when I watched it way younger, and I think it was probably one of the movies that really got me into mafia, gangster type-esque movies that really started it off. And that's what got me into Godfather and Goodfellas and a bunch of other movies, right? That's the movie I feel that started off for me because that was so entertaining, so good. When I was younger, I didn't know more than the action and more than suspense, but when I rewatched it later on, I appreciated it more from rewatching it as I got older. And it's just so good.
I think it's a movie that you appreciate more as you go, as you age. Jeremy or Mitch and Joe. Good movie.
Reservoir Dogs is definitely one movie that I would like to see.
You haven't seen it?
No, I have nothing against like Tarantino
wow.
and whatnot, but that is definitely one movie that I would like to get to.
No, because he had Inglourious Basterds on his honorable mentions.
Have you even seen it?
Have you seen it?
Of course I've seen it.
Well, hey, I don't know. Anything's possible.
Hey.
Hey, anything is possible.
Oh,
Right.
All right.
Let your memes be dreams.
So Reservoir Dogs, Jeremy, number 10. Joe?
Wait, real fast. I don't mean to cut you off, but every single time like we go through and we say everything is possible, we gotta like take a sip.
Can we not?
No.
Can we fucking not?
All right.
We'd be
Mitch,
drunk by
Mitch exists.
We're
Yeah.
drinking
Okay,
water.
Joe.
Are we gonna get drunk
Drunk
on water?
H2O is H2 good. All right, what do you got?
That didn't even fucking-
You're 10.
My
Yeah,
10. Oh, that's a hard one. But I'm gonna have to go with Life of Brian.
Life of Brian. Okay.
That movie is just
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny. So funny. Everything about it is.
I agree. I love it. That's great. But I slightly like Monty Python just a tad more.
It is
Just
Monty
a
Python.
little
Do you
bit.
Which
mean
one?
Holy Grail?
Which one?
The
I think you meant
Holy
Holy
Grail. The Holy Grail. Just the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
We
Life
gotta-
of Brian.
For me, it's just a little bit above Holy Grail. It's so close, but I had to
Gotcha.
go. I had to go
Gotcha.
with Life of
I
Brian.
understand.
I think we
I'm-
need.
I
I haven't seen the trilogy.
Really?
I need to. I would like to do that over the summer. That'd
Oh,
be cool. Like we
absolutely.
should do like a.
Yeah, you haven't seen Holy Grail?
No,
Wow.
Really?
It's good, dude.
Dude.
I love Terry Gilliam, who's like the proponent behind those. So, yeah. Have you seen Holy Grail?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Of course.
So you guys are fans of it.
Of course.
Well, I
Monty
haven't
Python's
seen Life of
fantastic.
Brian.
Yeah.
I've only seen.
One of the
You've only
Grail.
seen Holy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mitch, you're number 10.
Number 10. You guys probably will like end up having like a bit of surprise, but it is the Big
Santa?
Lebowski.
Wow. Oh
number
my
10,
god.
The Big Lebowski.
I don't know what to think of this list, man.
You
Man.
surprised yet, Jack?
Bad times to be at like.
I'm extremely
3.
surprised.
What did you think number 10 was going to be?
I didn't know. I thought it would be your favorite.
You and I are the wild cards. It's my
Thoughts.
favorite. Spoiler.
Yeah, way to go. We can stop recording now.
And we can.
Talk about Big Lebowski. You both, you can talk about it, and you will talk about it later.
I'll talk about it later. Yeah. Go ahead.
See, like the whole thing, like back to what you were saying about like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like to me, with like how that was my number 11, and of course the Big Lebowski was number 10. It was very very close, just like sort of how you said, like this. And then it's like probably like one of the best Coen Brothers movies that I've seen and whatnot. So it's like okay, I had to edge him out just given off of that.
Yeah.
Based off of that.
It's a good movie. I think all of us were able to see that in the theater together.
Oh, we
Not me.
all went to
Not
the
me.
25th anniversary except for you because you're a
Um,
loser.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you weren't there.
I had work.
Yeah.
Sad times.
I think that
Sad times, Battle Royale.
I think that's the movie that when we.
He's so sad.
I think the big. I think the Big Lebowski is the movie that kind of brought all of us together. You know what I mean? Like we. Like, I think when we all started talking, like, because we all knew each other from, like, high school and stuff like that, but, like,
who the fuck are these assholes?
and then, like, when we started, like, hanging out more, I think The Big Lebowski is, like, the movie that we all kind of agreed on, like, being one of our favorites, and, you know, I think it's a movie that we all, like, cherish, like, because we all think of each other, I think, at least I do. And we're all Jeff Bridges fans, like, we're probably the biggest Jeff Bridges
is
fan.
daddy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so that's your 10?
Yes.
Do you have one?
Hold on, use the texts.
I'm making my top 10 right now, but
To talk a little more about the Coen Brothers, are you guys fans of the Coen Brothers?
Yeah, they're right.
You're.
I am. I haven't disliked the movie from them so far.
They've made a couple bad ones, but like
Oh, what was the last one they made?
they made
It was-
Buster Scruggs.
That I like that.
You like that?
I thought it was interesting. I would have liked to have seen more of Buster Scruggs
Yes,
and less of
yeah.
everything else
Yeah.
because Buster would have been such an amazing character to do a whole movie on just by himself.
I agree.
But then they just kept doing. But then I didn't really read the description. Then I was like, oh wait, it's 6 shorts.
It's a vignette kind of thing.
It's a vignette, but
Yeah.
I would have totally loved to see a whole movie on Buster Scruggs instead of just seeing him shot down.
Yeah.
The first like 15 minutes. 'cause
Spoiler.
it's beautiful. It's not even.
all right, I finally made my top 10 as we were doing it, so it's kind of flunky. So my top 10, my personal favorites. One of them has to be a Miyazaki film, right?
Woo!
And as I'm looking through it,
Porco Rosso.
oh, sorry, it's Spirit Away.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Spirit Away. I understand the appeal for Princess Mononoke. I understand My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah.
I understand all of those. Spirit Away is also a masterpiece, but something about Spirit Away is just so encapsulating. It's just so fantastical. It has this like
it manages to like what you're
it
like.
captures you so well to this fantasy world, and then you just want to be in there. You want to live it, even though it's dangerous, even though it's like kind of chaotic, and it's just fantastic. And Miyazaki, the way he draws, the way he animates, the way he directs, the way he tells a story is so beautiful and so encapsulating. You can't help but awe, and it's so universally loved. It's really bizarre how like this is kind of considered anime, but people don't think of it as an anime. They just think of it as
like a film,
some weird, just some film, animated film.
I think that's a movie that like if you're a kid,
oh absolutely,
you watch it as a kid, but you can watch it as like a 20, 30, 40.
Yeah, it's timeless.
You feel like a kid every time you watch it.
Yeah, I watched it as a kid and was kind of terrified of it.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Oh my
so
god, we're watching it over the summer. That way I can give it the masterpiece it deserves.
Absolutely.
Mitch, you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah, your boyfriend has not seen Spirited Away.
Yeah,
Hey, don't fucking give me this shit.
Joe's girlfriend
Joe's
is like in the room.
Yeah.
And
She's
she just
freaking
gave this
out.
Look. She's already packing up her stuff. She's already leaving.
She just walked out.
She
All right.
just left.
She's gone.
You guys just saw a live breakup.
Stay with
Yeah.
me for the summer, but I don't think it's gonna happen now.
All right.
Live breakup, guys.
Okay.
Break up. It's okay. Goodbye.
Real quick,
All
I
right.
don't think this is recording, but we'll find out.
What do you mean it's not recording?
It's not tracking it down. It's recording. It's recording.
Oh.
But I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay, yeah, we'll find out. I guess we'll do it again.
Stop leaning so close to the mic, because that's a really good mic.
No, please don't. Please
Please
don't.
don't. This is not ASMR. Get the fuck away from
Welcome
the
back.
mic. Oh, God.
All right. My number 10.
Disgusting.
Jesus Christ, this is hard. Is a Russian film by my man Tarkovsky. Stalker, baby. I'm trying to get these fools to watch this movie. It's like it changes you change your whole life. It's a movie that you watch and then every belief you've had, it's gone. It like deconstructs everything. Might be the best science fiction movie. I guess you can classify it as that of all time. But I just watch it. I mean, it's just one of the most intense movies I think I've ever seen in my life. I remember watching it before I had to work, and I remember going into my shift just like, how can I work? Like, how can I function as a human being after just watching this? Somehow I did and didn't get fired, but
Existential dread's a bitch.
pretty much that's what that movie is, and it was amazing. I love it. I've only seen it the one time, but when I go back to it, when I feel ready, I can go back to it. It'll be incredible. All right, Jeremy, you're number 9.
Number 9.
God, oh boy.
Number 9 is the newest addition to this list.
Oh wow! Oh my God!
I think I might know.
So help me God.
A little game.
A little funny game, if you will.
Wow.
Funny games. Now, I'm just kind of lumping the original and the remake in here
Fair.
because it's so hard to choose because I watched them both recently.
Tim Roth.
This movie is tailor made for me. It's self-aware. Like, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but basically, this movie. What impressed me most about this movie is that it's constantly reminding you that there's a lot of fourth wall breaks and there's a lot of self-aware qualities of it. So it's constantly reminding you that it's a fictional movie, but at the same time, it still feels so real when you're watching it. Like the emotion, the acting,
is so on point.
It feels so like just raw and like it feels like you're watching like real things happening. So when the horrific things start happening, it feels real and it impacts you more.
Especially
Even
the
though
long shots.
I've never seen a movie that was like this self-aware that still made the movie feel like a real experience. And Paul, I'm sorry, Paul's one of the most underrated villains of all time. I love Paul. Every time
His name was just straight up Paul.
Better than the villain in
Deadpool.
Bad Times.
better than the villain in Bad Times in El Royale.
Jesus
Yeah, for sure.
He
Yeah,
was so fucking
I think Paul and then Angel Eyes from Good, Bad, the Ugly. Two
of the most
underrated villains of all time.
Yes.
But yeah, Funny Games. Actually, that was our movie club. We just started a movie club where every week.
Let's not call it. It's not a movie club. It's just us.
No,
basically
we're
just-
calling
Call it
it
a movie club.
We're
Shut
calling
up.
it a
Shut
movie
up.
We're just a
Shut up, Joe! Shut up,
Joe!
Shut up, Joe! Shut up, Joe! Joe, shut up! Joe,
You fucked it up.
No, I did it properly.
No.
Yeah, basically every week we'll all send each other movies to watch, and then we'll also have one person pick a movie none of us have watched that we all
Watch and discuss.
And this week it was Funny Games, and one of the best decisions. That was me who decided to watch Funny Games. Oh yeah, just fell in love with this movie. I'm like I already want to watch it again. Honestly.
Well, now you can. The Criterion Collection put it out on Blu-ray, and you'll certainly be buying that come July.
Come July, I will be buying that Funny Games Criterion.
I really don't think we should add timestamps. That's for sure.
We should know better than that by now.
Today is definitely not May 16th of 2019. That's definitely
definitely not.
Definitely not it.
It's definitely July, and Jeremy has it in his hands. Hear it?
Oh yeah, there we go.
You hear it? It's the case.
Right there it is.
All right, Joe. Joe.
Don't twitch that mic.
Joe, shut up. Give us your 9. Give us number 9 off the back.
Number 9.
Well, did you guys have anything to say about?
No.
Intense. It's intense. You've cleared up everything. It's intense.
No Country for Old Men.
Number 9.
We're gonna get a little disagreement here, but
Slept the time I watched it.
I know I rewatched it later and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
What did he say?
All right.
No
good.
Country for Old Men.
I'm about to say because this motherfucker fell asleep with like half an hour left.
So wait, who here hasn't
First
seen that
time
movie?
I
Have you seen it?
watched
Of course.
I've seen it.
Is that surprising?
I've seen it.
You don't like No Country for Old Men?
Shouldn't say this on air on the podcast, but it's one of my least favorite. I've seen it 3 times and I just can't get into it. I feel like if I did it a 4th time,
Maybe.
it would click. I want to love that movie, but I can't force myself to love a damn movie. But talk about it, because
the villain. I can't even remember his name because I'm terrible with names.
Anton Sugar.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, even he knows. I'm just so bad with names. Forgive me about that. I loved him as a character. He was just so merciless and cruel in his behavior, but also so calculated and deliberate in all of his actions.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing anyway?
Go on.
Is he chasing my dog?
Probably taking a poop or something.
Alright. And I don't know. It just really drew me in his actions specifically, and I love his voice. His voice
Yeah.
is perfect.
You lost on a coin toss.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's you're definitely a Coen Brothers fan then.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you guys want to talk because Mitch hasn't seen it.
So I'm
but
saying, I love No Country for Old Men, but the more I think it's kind of gone down on me for a little bit, just because same thing with The Dark Knight, where I think if you have a really really good villain in a movie, a lot of people tend to overhype it a little bit.
Yes,
which I understand because if you have a really good villain, that's like one of the best things you can have in a movie, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the more that I watch it, same thing with Dark Knight. I love Anton Chigurh even more and more every time I watch it.
but the movie
As a whole lessens a little bit. For me.
I understand.
Everything around Anton Chigurh because it's all still really good, but when you really think about it, it's Anton Chigurh is like a A+, and the movie's probably like a B+ at best.
Interesting.
I can,
We're definitely going to get into some.
Alright.
You and I are
Gotta get into some disagreements.
because from the crowd here because that's that one Best Picture over There Will Be Blood.
I still love
And,
No Country for Old Men. Don't get me
but
wrong. It's probably
People think it's a perfect movie, and
It's not
Yeah.
a perfect movie. I just really enjoy it.
Interesting.
Remember that Avatar was in my honorable mentions, and that's a
Really
I can't
good.
judge you. I like that movie.
yeah.
I
I mean, I think I like it more than Jack likes
Yes.
it because I do love the movie. I saw.
You don't like it?
I don't like it as much.
Yeah. See, I think we should rewatch it as a group. That'd be interesting.
Maybe. I think yeah.
and then
Maybe.
just shit on every single thing.
Yeah, shit on the Coen Brothers, hate
Fuck
them.
James Cameron.
Might as well.
Fuck James Cameron. Fuck No Country. Mitch, you're number 9.
Number 9 was Whiplash.
Oh,
Whiplash.
I like that movie. I know you hate
I know
that
you
movie,
absolutely
Jack.
hate it.
Have not seen
Well,
it.
I
I have not seen it.
All right, okay.
I know you hate it.
Oh my god, dude! I need it. I don't hate it. It's just
Yes, you do.
it's the same
That's a bunch
thing.
of bullshit.
It's
You
the
hate it.
I don't hate it. It's just the same thing as No Country for Old Men. I watched it the one time and it just didn't do anything.
I can never watch that movie again. I feel like because all the importance of the movie is in the build up and in the excitement and hatred and frustration growing, and in that kid failing over and over and over again, and then finally showing what he's worth and just fucking nailing it. And it's just it takes the whole movie, but it's done so well. That's my take.
Mitch?
Well, thank you for taking that. But,
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much. Along the same lines of what I was about to say. I mean that.
Well, you were a band kid too, so that
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, that, and as you know, or at least now you know, that I was a band kid and whatnot, and
Lean in a little more.
All right.
He was a band kid.
Yeah, as you know, I was a band kid and whatnot. I played trumpet.
Well, they don't
As
know.
Now you do.
Go on.
Like with the whole
Nice.
with
The main
with,
character.
with Whiplash and whatnot. J.K. Simmons, just like the way that he would always go back and, or just the way that he would sort of like, I guess you could say verbally abuse like the drummer for like the beginning portion of the movie. Almost reminded me of like the verbal abuse that like our band director would go through and give us like throughout like, you know, my freshman and my sophomore year and whatnot. I mean, aside from that, as Joe, you know, said, just the whole thing where it's like the different types of pressure and all that the drummer was underneath, and then of course towards the end of the movie, like he actually began to go through and like, you know, nail it, like you said, is just, you know, it was outstanding the way that he did it.
I like Damien Chazelle. I think he's made two better movies, in my opinion. I like First Man and La La Land, especially First Man a little bit more. First Man's intense. Great movie. But yeah, I feel like I need to give Whiplash another go. Because I only give him the one. You and I could watch it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've seen a couple. I've seen a few clips.
I know of it. I've seen clips.
Alright. You're number 9, Roy?
Number 9.
Seven better be Seven Samurai.
Number 9. Oh my god.
Is it?
Shut up, Joe.
Shaking up his old list.
Number 9 is gonna be Enter the Dragon.
Ooh.
Now,
Good
I
pick,
love
good
martial
pick.
arts, and Bruce Lee is the guy that introduced me to martial arts. I remember way back, I think the first Bruce Lee movie I saw was Death Proof on VHS, and that sold me. That got me down the path of like kung fu fighting. And then I watched it's called Death Proof, right?
Wait, what?
The
Which
Bruce
one?
Lee movie. It's called
Game of Death.
Game of Death. My bad. I don't know why.
Death Proof is directed by Tarantino, not...
Hey, but Tarantino directed Kill Bill, which is
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Got him!
Shit, boy. It's... Alright, go on.
I really like Bruce Lee a lot, and Enter the Dragon is like the movie that basically did all the tropes. It started it all and improvised a bunch of older tropes and turn it up times 10. And Bruce Lee is like a capable fighter. He created a bunch of his own martial arts, and it's just fucking amazing. He carries every time he's on camera, his charisma and his like his style just it's so focused on there, especially how Asian cinema is played out. It's just so fantastic. And Enter the Dragon has a bunch of like side characters that are just fucking amazing. And the fights, especially the mirror fight at the end with the claw and the music, it's so epic. It feels so great. And the suspension, no matter how many times I rewatch it, no matter how many times I know what's gonna happen, I feel like I'm there. And I'm just like, oh, I can't wait. Oh no, get out of there, Bruce. It's so good.
Pulls you in.
Love it.
John Saxon's in it.
It's great.
Oh, no way,
He's
really?
great.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like John Saxon just like shows up in the most random movies.
He's like, here for a paycheck, let's do this.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's do it.
Alright, what's going on here? Oh, he's a man who's got claws on his hands. Alright, let's do it. Let's got it. Interesting. I've yet to see that. I need to
Right.
give it a
Good
watch.
movie. One of my best.
And don't forget the I don't know what his name is. The black guy.
The black guy.
The
The guy with the afro.
Love
Oh,
him
he's
so
so
much.
good. He's like, oh, I hate that he. Oh God, he's so amazing.
Yeah. Oh man.
My favorite part is when the ladies come around for the sexy things,
Oh,
and he's
my
like, I want them all. Oh, it's so good.
God, I love it so much.
Interesting.
Not my favorite Bruce Lee movie though. That's my second favorite Bruce Lee movie.
Oh, I
What's
know
your
what your
favorite?
first one is. Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite?
Way of the Dragon.
Interesting.
With
Is that his last movie?
No, his last movie was. I don't know what his last movie
I
was.
think his last.
I thought it was Way of the Dragon.
Yeah, I could have swore it was way.
Well, no, because I don't think he finished whatever his last movie was. He finished Way of the
We
Dragon.
should finish it for him.
Yeah, there we go.
We should get his son to do it.
Hey,
Brandon Lee.
I heard he's still alive. Hey, I think he's playing the Crow.
Yeah, I hope that goes well.
Hey, isn't The Crow coming out this summer, right?
Yeah, the VHS.
Yeah, it's 2018.
On cassette.
Okay. My number 9 is a little movie called The Shining.
Ooh.
I think that this is the best horror movie ever made. I think it's Stanley Kubrick's. It's definitely. I don't think it's his best movie, but it's up
Your
there.
favorite of his.
It's my favorite. I think that movie's terrifying. Jack Nicholson probably gives, in my opinion, the best horror performance of all time. And I know, Jeremy, you're a Psycho guy.
I got it. It's razor thin between Anthony Perkins and
But
Jack Nicholson. It's
God,
it's any day I can interchange it.
He's terrifying in that movie.
Yeah.
The whole movie, it's just this nightmare that keeps pushing you, shaking you, and then it just cools at the end, and you feel the sense of like emptiness, like everything you've built, and it's just gone. Shelley Duvall, not the best in that movie, but she's whatever.
That's a hot take.
Incredible. She's terrible in that movie, but it works. I think that's the best well-made horror movie. The long shots, the over the shoulder where Danny's riding his little trike, incredible. That was the first that used Steadicam. That was the first movie that used Steadicam, I believe. They made the machine just before it began, and Kubrick's like, "Hey, I want to use that," and they're like, and they used it, and it's, I don't know.
Obviously, it worked.
I've seen that in theaters, and it's just what.
So have I.
We have.
Yes,
with
that's right. You guys.
With cancer.
It's just an experience. Have you guys, you two, seen Shining?
Of course, yes.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Jeez, I don't know, man.
I told you about this.
Anything's possible.
Hey, yeah, that's right. Anything's possible. So that's my number 9. Jeremy, you're hit up with your 8.
Number 8.
Hateful Eight.
Number 8. Hateful Eight.
Number 8. Sandlot 2, Going Home.
Number 8. Well, we've already got another Tarantino on the list.
Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious Basterds. Yes.
Nice call.
Oh my God, I love this movie. This movie just keeps on going up more and more and more. Masterpiece.
That's good. Yeah, I can agree.
Could be your favorite.
Maybe might be my favorite. We might be saying another one later on the list, but hey, who knows? Hey,
we know.
Hey,
we know, but they don't know.
They don't know. You all know.
I don't think they care. I think they turned it off.
I don't blame
them. Hans Landa, another one of the greatest villains of all time, and then Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt.
The Bear Jew.
The Bear Jew. Everything about this movie. Mike Myers is in it. Like,
and he talks like this, and it's great.
Just one of the most like hilarious movies ever. One of the most like action-packed movies ever. Just
rewatchable.
One of the most rewatchable movies ever. I don't know if I think I've watched Pulp Fiction more than Inglourious Basterds.
I think I've seen Bastards more.
I don't know which I've seen more, but yeah, this is definitely one of the most rewatchable movies ever.
3.
What?
Not 3. 3.
3. You're right.
That's the best
You're
scene
right.
in the movie.
Oh
I think.
my God! I mean, there's that scene. There's the opening scene. Which
Yes.
is one of the best opening scenes ever, which is heavily inspired by The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. We found out, and yeah, just overall, just a fantastic movie. Yeah,
it's really good. I think that's the movie that got me into, like, the first movie I saw with Tarantino that he did.
Yeah, first I saw it was Pulp Fiction.
I love that movie.
My first Tarantino movie was Kill Bill, so
Interesting.
I definitely.
It
believe
makes
that.
a lot of sense.
I definitely believe that.
Joe, you're number 9.
Number 8.
8. 9, 8.
This one's gonna probably surprise all of you.
Bad Times, calling it.
Rush Hour 3.
Whoa! What? Okay, I like that.
Hot
I've
take.
never seen that.
I like
Hot
that.
take. Hot take.
It. Make
Right.
goosebumps.
Controversial pick, everybody.
No, so this one is actually because of what it meant to me as a kid. As a kid.
Alright, turn it off.
Podcast's over, guys.
Alright, so
Okay.
both
Keep
of my,
going. I'm getting water.
alright, so both of my parents are professors, and as a kid, they spent all their free time grading. So I didn't really spend much time with them. And my parents are divorced, especially. And as a kid, my mom had to have like 2 jobs because she was always made less than my dad. Anyway, one of her, like, we always watched Rush Hour 3 together when we could because it was so funny, and it's such a stupid
good.
movie. I
It's the
love
best.
it. It's so good. It's the best Rush Hour.
Well,
another trilogy.
the best one is the first one. Because the idea,
I gotta
there's
agree
so
with
many good
Cancer
jokes.
Okay, they're all so good.
so many-
yeah.
they're all
Ru-
three are
Rush Hour
so-
3 definitely is just the one.
I agree.
For
Okay.
me.
Okay.
It's just as a kid, that was just what I did with my mom. We watched that, we would laugh, and it just brings back some happy memories for me.
I haven't seen any of them. I like it.
He's
Okay,
I think
I'll be real with you. This one was a tie between that and Blues Brothers.
interesting.
He chose Rush Hour 3 or Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers gets the next spot.
Interesting.
Don't spoil your list, Joe.
Opa! All right, Mitch.
My number 8 is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes, good movie. Who hasn't seen that here?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? That's right. That movie is
I
right
know
up your alley.
it's been on my watch list for so long.
We'll have to watch it together.
Yeah, but like, just see, it's one of those movies too, though, where it's one of those things where it almost sort of goes better off, like, unexplained.
Yes.
It's one of those things like maybe just walking in there and like not really like knowing much about it, just maybe knowing like very very like little details on it.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, like I would sort of just recommend just like going into that. You know what I mean? But aside from that, it's just like I don't really know how else to
explain it.
Yeah, really
it's
describe
just
it.
one of the great dramas. You've seen it, Jeremy?
Yeah,
It's
a while ago.
it's just great. It's hard to talk about when you don't want to spoil it for everyone who hasn't seen it, but like
That's what I'm saying.
it's an incredible movie. All you can really say, it's an incredible movie. All right, good, interesting pick. 8. Royal.
8. Grave of the Fireflies.
Fucking anime.
Listen, you gave me like I had to do this off the bat, and all I know is
We had
anime.
weeks for this.
Yeah.
No, we
All I
didn't.
know is anime. Grave of the Fireflies has to be up there, and God,
Fucking nerd.
I don't know what it is. It's so like knowing the history about Japan and like what they've gone through after like getting bombed twice, and just
USA.
Shut the fuck up.
I can't. God, fuck you. But Grave of the Fireflies hurts home because I'm in the older sibling, and I have this fear that I would lose my younger siblings or something like that, and then seeing both of them just go through all this shit and what happens to them and what they really want at the end. It's hard to spoil. It's hard not to spoil it because
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
haven't
people.
seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and I don't want to spoil some of the twists and some of the stuff they go into. But there's a lot of death, and all this death, it makes me want to cry just talking about it. It's so good. It's just, I love it so much. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Out of all of Iso's movies,
Takashi or
Takashi.
something like that.
Takashi.
Alright, actually, I'm going to change my choice. I know I said Rush Hour, but now thinking about it, you're right. Blues Brothers definitely.
All right, you don't get to talk about it though.
No,
Yeah, no,
No, your fault.
Okay.
All right, my number 8. A little movie called Godfather. Part 2. Psych. Gotta. I when I make a top 10, they're lumped together. I think that's how it should be. They're
also real.
for me masterpiece rating. It's the first 2.
Okay, yeah, that's
So
agreeable.
Godfather 1 and 2 lumped together for 8. Everyone does the cheat. It's okay. The greatest opera ever told. Put the film. Honestly, like you start. Jeremy hasn't seen it.
Well, I logged the first one, but we're not gonna talk about that because I
Stupid.
may have logged it on April 1st. But you know, hey,
Jeremy hasn't seen it.
Without, it's just I think one of the most important movies I've seen in my life. You know, a lot of people say the greatest movie. It probably is. Like the first one's so well made, and you don't think that the second one can top it. But then it just blows the first out of the water for me. It's a sequel. It's a prequel. It just some of the best cinematography, editing, score, acting you'll ever see. Al Pacino probably gives maybe the best performance I've ever seen. Ever put the film in that movie. Part 2. De Niro's amazing in it. I think that one maybe packs a little bit more of a punch than the first one. Just a bit. Just because of how tragic it is. But both two as a whole, it's just this tragic story and about the downfall of this hero that was supposed to be something that his family wasn't, and then he ended up getting wrapped right into it, and it's just like it's unbelievable how there's nothing wrong with those movies. So yeah, Godfather 1 and 2, number 8. Jeremy, number 7.
this is where we
Controversial.
hot take here.
Controversial.
Number 7 pick. Most of you probably haven't seen this.
Oh my god. Say it.
Rat-tat-toing.
All right.
Not to be confused with Ratatouille.
That piece of shit.
Fucking rip-off movie. Rat-tat-toing. 2007 masterpiece. What?
They came out the
A
same
little
year.
Brazilian film.
Yeah.
Made in this city.
44 minutes long.
CGI.
Marvelous city. Land of sun and heat.
CGI'd.
Precisely.
Leave it at that.
Joe?
Joe, you're number 7.
I want Jeremy to fucking die, first of all.
I've been pissing off Joe a lot today, trust me.
Oh, he pisses me off in general. Fun fact, he might actually end up living with me for an undisclosed period of time. We have no idea.
And by living,
like,
dying.
literally
it means
living
dying.
in the house.
Them two living together,
I can't
I'm
imagine.
so fearful.
It's already done.
It's gonna be horrible.
It'll
But
look
I'm
like
gonna
a
love
fucking
it.
soap opera.
Alright.
It might be The Godfather for the best soap
There
opera.
we go. That's what it is.
I'm actually gonna have to go. This one's also a little bit controversial. Thor Ragnarok. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies because it's
Sure.
Huh?
What? No, go on.
What the fuck did you just say?
Nothing. I said go on.
All right.
Explain the movie, Joe.
Explain the movie.
Explain it to us.
All right,
Come on, just fucking do it already.
You've all probably already seen Thor Ragnarok because
Yeah.
Not me.
Marvel is just ubiquitous as fuck.
I have not seen it yet.
Well, you should. It's actually really funny.
You'll like it.
Iron Man and Black Widow die in an Endgame. Had to say it.
I can't.
I don't care. I don't care. Fuck them. I don't
It
care.
makes
Hey,
nobody wanna listen to
Fuck
this.
you guys.
I don't care. Who cares? We're doing this for ourselves. Talk about Thor Ragnarok.
I just really, I think it's a hilarious
Can't post this anywhere now.
and really, really fun movie. Like, I just enjoy it from beginning to end. I like the ride. I like the humor. I think it's probably the goofiest one they did, where they kind of just like they threw script out a little bit in that one. Because some of the lines are actually absolutely stupid, but I think it's really funny.
Hey, Jeff Goldblum's pretty great. I love
Jeff
him.
Goldblum is one of my
Oh, I
favorite
love
actors, and he honestly makes the movie for me.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Like, all those things plus
Thanks,
Jeff
guys.
Goldblum equals it's one of my
Absolutely.
tops. And I say this, and it's not one of the best movies ever made. I know it's not.
Question for all the MCU fans: who's your favorite MCU superhero in the MCU?
Tough question. Get back to me on that one at a different time.
Well, like
My favorite is Quicksilver. Do you think that when Thor snapped, he came back to, or Hulk snapped, he came back to life?
Kubi theory game theory?
All right, Mitch, what's your 7?
Number 7, you can't really go wrong with this, but I did the original Jurassic Park.
Interesting.
You could go wrong. No,
You
I'm just
can't
kidding.
go wrong.
It's a good movie. It's not the Lost World, that's for
It's
sure.
impossible.
That's what I'm saying.
Lost World is better.
Oh, I think the most
no.
recent Jurassic Park, but don't fucking let me just.
No, there we go.
Can't even joke about
there
it,
we go.
Joe.
Most
I
recent
can't. It was
Jurassic
so
I
Park.
haven't even seen it.
All right,
I'm
Jurassic
All
Park.
right, Jurassic Park. Talk about Jurassic
Talk
Park.
about.
Everyone knows what the fuck Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up.
The original Jurassic Park, that's sort of like, relatively self-explanatory in a sense, but
It's about dinosaurs from what I hear.
yeah, there we go. Thank you, Jack. But
Who'd have thunk it?
it is arguably the best, Jurassic Park movie, out of, this whole series. I mean, whether or not if you guys want to go through and,
No,
I
it
can
is.
agree-
It
I
is.
can
It
agree with
is.
this.
whether or not if you guys maybe want to go through and,
No.
switch that around.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
just continue.
I'll
I
defend
love-
Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, but fuck the others.
Yeah, I also
I
love
can't
2 and
defend
3.
Jurassic Park 3.
Jurassic Park 3 is a wonderful meme. Billy, fuck off.
Colin!
Fuck off, Billy. Billy.
Oh, and Jurassic Park 3 also has the best dinosaur fight.
Yes.
Hands down.
Yes,
Without
yes,
a
yes,
doubt.
yes, yes.
Okay, you got me there.
Hands down.
All right.
I was able to see Jurassic Park in theaters, I think last year. Incredible. Incredible.
So jealous.
Alright, you're 7.
7. Samurai 7. Samurai 7 was a lot higher than the list, but got put all the way down. 'cause
7
it's so
Samurai.
Good.
Yes.
7 Samurai is, oh my god.
Perfect.
Kira Kurosawa, just take me now.
Just leave it at that.
Oh my god, oh god, it's so good.
That's probably going to be a movie we'll watch over the summer because he hasn't
If
seen
you,
it.
don't, if you
None
haven't
of
seen
them.
Samurai 7, you don't know if you don't know what it is, fucking watch it. Watch it. And if you've seen anime, you don't know what that is, fucking kill yourself. Don't call yourself a weeb.
Jesus. How can you call yourself a weeb if you don't know what the fuck anime is? Get out of here.
Big think.
That's a hot take.
Hot take. Anime isn't real.
Pick here, boys.
Alright. Shut up,
Number
Joe.
7, Jack.
Chinatown.
Chinatown.
Joe's a big fan of Roman Polanski, as we saw earlier today.
Yeah.
That piece of shit.
perfect movie. Jack Nicholson's best performance. Best noir movie of all time, I think. I think I shut up. I think I watch it once a year, and it just I try to find something wrong with it. I'm like, a movie can't be this good. It's the film of a lifetime, man. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
I almost watched it last night.
You almost watched it. It's so.
I almost tuned it.
You almost tuned it?
Hey, guess what? I don't
Drink.
care.
What can be said? You know what I mean? It's like one of the classics. What can be said?
It's one of the greatest classics.
I watched it, I think maybe when I was younger. I remember saving up my money and buying the DVD from the local disc replay down here in Illinois at Crest Hill.
Yeah, give away our location.
Who cares? I don't care. Come and kill me. I don't care. Pay for my tuition. And I was so excited because I'm like, I get to finally see this movie. And I watched it and I'm like, oh my god, this movie's so good. If I could make a movie as perfect as that, that'd be amazing, I think. Hard to talk about because I think most of these guys haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Watch it, though. Incredible movie. All I can say is incredible movies. But intense, perfect. Jack Nicholson gets his nose cut. Jeremy, number 6.
Number 6. My actually, as big of a horror fan as I am, my top horror movie is only at number 6. That's Halloween, 1978.
Interesting. He's wearing it. He's wearing a T-shirt, Halloween shirt, right now.
I am actually, as a matter of fact. I mean, just
awful movie.
I mean, terrible movie, but okay.
It's so terrible.
This movie was a good idea, terrible thought. That's what the movie was. No.
Yes.
Keep going.
John Carpenter's best.
John Carpenter's best, slightly over The Thing. I've actually only seen.
We might have to fight.
I've only seen Halloween, The Thing, and Christine so far. I haven't seen
Darkness.
So have to fight.
So I don't have, it's only out of 3 movies, but to me, as of right now, Michael Myers is my favorite my favorite movie character of all time, horror or non-horror. Michael Myers is on screen. I nut. What can I say?
I just called you a slut, and what did you do? Nuts.
I'm a nut. I'm a slut. I'm not.
Again, I know I'm saying this a lot. I saw that in theaters last year.
So did I on Halloween.
Incredible. I mean, you guys watched it
You
together?
went over a red light.
Oh, I believe it.
You went over 2 red lights that
The
same
worst
day.
fucking driver I know.
You haven't seen the movie until you've seen it in theaters.
Oh, it's such a good experience.
On Halloween, especially.
Yeah. Perfect movie.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite Carpenter as well.
Might be my favorite score of all time. Probably. Like, it's top 5 for sure. It's definitely top 5.
You're fucking retarded.
Interesting. Okay.
Definitely my favorite main theme to a movie.
Oh,
I will probably Godfather.
Yeah. There's a lot of main themes. There's so many that are like God tiers.
Yeah.
But
the suspense in that movie, I mean, some of the acting isn't necessarily the best.
I think it's all fine. It's satisfactory.
I mean, it's not.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis, she never
For what
went
it
anywhere.
was at a time, it was.
Well, Jamie Lee
pretty
Curtis
good.
is good. I'm talking about like the other, like her friends, like.
No.
All right, you're done.
You're done.
Joe.
Watch Prince of Darkness.
And Christine. And The Ward.
You bought that. You still have yet to watch it.
I haven't bought it.
All right.
Gotta go buy it now.
Fan
All right,
video?
Joe, come on. Give us your half-ass bad times.
This is 6, right?
Yeah, number 6.
For me, I'm also going to pull another one that is going to surprise you. Schindler's List.
You saw that for the first time recently.
I
didn't you?
saw that for the first time recently
What?
in theaters.
With
With
us.
these guys.
Woo!
I do not regret it. That movie tore me apart emotionally, and oh my god, it was so good. It was one of the longest movies I've ever seen. But
You don't feel it.
No,
You
you
feel
don't.
it.
Every single minute was done perfectly. Every single scene had purpose. Every single emotion was conveyed perfectly through color or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
Little girl in red, we miss you.
Do we?
I do. I feel bad for every
Yeah,
single
dude,
person who was destroyed by that tragedy.
Yeah, my relatives.
Exactly. And just the movie, like I walked out of the theater
We were sobbing. I did not expect to be crying as much as I did, and the other
He
guy.
actually fell out of his seat.
I fell on my seat, and I don't.
I
do
like how we
really?
all made a
Yeah.
lot of jokes before we watched the movie.
I did not.
And then afterwards, no one said a
God,
single
it's like
joke.
what I think that's Steven Spielberg's best movie, but I don't think it's necessarily my favorite movie.
Jeremy,
I can agree.
what was it that you put on social media?
No, we're not
No,
saying that.
no. I can't edit any of this out. I don't know how to edit it yet.
I don't
So
remember.
we're not saying nothing.
I don't even remember what I said.
All right, Mitch.
It wasn't good.
Shut up.
It wasn't good.
Amazing,
All right.
amazing movie.
up.
If you haven't seen it, you should.
It's
not.
a very important
It's very
movie.
daunting, but watch it.
It's a very important movie to understand history and actually come face to face with it and accept it. Because if
You don't accept history.
you don't
it could
accept
repeat
history,
itself.
and frankly, if you're a Holocaust denier, you should kill yourself.
Oh no.
Actually, yeah,
See,
okay.
I know I can't edit that out.
That's okay.
I
though.
don't care if they're a Holocaust denier. I don't care about their feelings.
All right, Mitch, you're 6.
Going back to the whole trumpet thing now. For number 6, I chose Blues Brothers 3000.
2000.
What's it?
2000.
2000?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
You mean the remake?
2000.
What's the
What's that?
sequel?
See,
Is Blues Brothers on your list?
Yes, I thought it was. Wait, I could have swore it was 3000.
no.
Are you doing the original or the sequel?
Okay, the original.
Then
This
the
is
Blues
not
Brothers.
Blues
Oh
Brothers.
my
Blues
God.
Brothers. Fucking moron.
Okay, yeah.
God,
Blues Brothers.
Mitch.
Blues Brothers then. But,
3,000.
Such an amazing movie.
I love you. All right, you don't even get to talk about the Blues Brothers. Fuck off.
Yeah, Joe, Mitch's
I'll talk
favorite,
about it
Blue
for-
Brothers.
I'll talk about it for-
Just
No,
say
no,
one
you
word
don't.
about it. Good movie. Roy, what's your
Fucking
6?
hilarious.
All right.
Number 6.
Rock and roll.
Godzilla.
The original?
Jesus.
Original, 1954, Godzilla. Now, I was already talking about Grave of the Fireflies and how I felt bad about Japan getting nuked and all that stuff, right? Well, imagine to my surprise how they took that and then they created this movie called Godzilla. And oh my god. Oh, I love it
Oh
so
my
much.
Godzilla.
God damn you.
Oh, Godzilla.
Oh Godzilla.
No, but seriously, this movie is so like when you realize what this movie is and how it affects the Japanese culture and Asian culture and how it affects all Eastern culture in general. It's just amazing. And I did an analysis. I wrote a whole essay about this movie for my English class 101. It's fucking great. It was what got me into like a lot of these cringy like costume like Godzilla and like Rodan movie and King Ghidorah movies, all those like fucking all these stupid weird stuff. But then this movie, this first movie, is just so classic, so fantastic, so perfect.
Yeah.
It can't be untouched, and I'm so hyped for the next Godzilla movie, King of the Monsters. I haven't seen it yet. And I'm so hyped. They have everything on there. I just hope it's what I want, like a whole monster fest. I don't want a good story. Nothing can top the first Godzilla movie, story-wise, but if you haven't seen it, I totally recommend it. That's definitely a good place to start off.
I
You
haven't seen
excited
it.
for Godzilla King of the Monsters
You just
coming
said,
out?
yeah, you just
Yes.
said that.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to take care of my dog.
It's alright. Yeah,
Interesting.
it's great.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. Need to,
It's
need to
definitely a
borrow
good
it.
place to start.
My number 6. So my top 6, they can easily be my favorite movie. So rearrange this however you want. But at the moment, I'm going to go with a French movie called Contempt. It's a movie about filmmaking, but it's also about filmmaking as like both this artistic importance and something that destroys a person. Because it's about this guy, his name's Paul, and he wants to be a screenwriter, or he's a screenwriter. And he's given the task to adapt Homer's Odyssey to the screen. And it just kind of shows like how like he and his wife are like slowly breaking. They join up with these film people, and how the film people are kind of like breaking their marriage up and they're splitting apart. And how like he's becoming more of this film. He's starting to wear like cool hats and trying to be all cool, like I'm a film man. And then his wife's like, "What are you doing? Be the real person. You're losing yourself." And she becomes too wrapped up in it too, and then he escapes it. And I don't think there's going to be ever a better movie about filmmaking than this. It's by my favorite French filmmaker, Godard. Check him out. I don't know what could be said. It's a movie that I remember watching a couple years ago, and I've watched it. I make it a mission to watch it every year, and the score for that movie, it's just the score, sometimes everything technically, but also thematically, it's just such an interesting take on filmmaking as a whole, and how bad it can be, but also how good it could be. But yeah, number 6, number 5, top 5. Jeremy.
For me, so number 5 is a movie that's already been mentioned earlier, but The Big Lebowski.
All right, 4. We kind of already talked about it.
Yeah.
You mean 5 again?
Best comedy of all time. For me, like my favorite comedy of all time.
Okay. Number 3, Joe.
It's 5.
Number 1. What's your number 1? We have bad times. All right, get out of here, Joe.
All right, we're done.
No, again,
So
coming
Joe's
out of
kicked
left
out.
field, Requiem for a Dream. And
Really?
Why?
Wow.
It's so
okay.
depressing.
but that's exactly why.
I made him watch
No,
this
but
movie.
okay.
How dare you? That's the wrong
No.
movie to watch.
No,
Joe to watch.
because
He made his
that
top 5
movie-
now.
Alright, so
God
that
damn.
movie, I don't often feel too much when I watch a movie. But
You don't
that
often
movie-
feel anything.
I really don't, because I'll be real with you for a second. I suffer from pretty severe depression, so like movies kind of just like, I enjoy it or whatever.
Here we go,
Shut
God.
the fuck up, no. But Requiem for a Dream, like I felt every single painful moment in that movie,
Yeah.
and the way that it affected me truly resonated with me, and I was able to appreciate it for like how real it was. Even though some of the situations may have not seemed super realistic, they very well could be, and they are life-destroying and soul-destroying, and I felt all of that. And because of how deeply it affected me, that made me truly appreciate and love the film.
I'm pretty sure we watched Big Lebowski right after one.
Oh my God.
I had to. I was so depressed. I was literally just sitting there staring at the wall.
I wasn't thinking.
Dun, 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 dun,
I showed Joe this about a week after I watched it, just because it like affected me so much. I was like, I gotta watch it again. I gotta show someone else this. I
dun,
can't be
dun,
that person.
dun, 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 dun,
God
dun,
damn.
dun.
That's another really great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that.
There's a
score.
lot of themes, dude.
God.
There's so many
Butt to
good
butt.
ones.
Dun, dun.
Ass to ass.
Yeah.
God.
And then how the guy goes, he's like,
And
they're doing on the. He's like,
Licking his lips. So horrible.
good movie.
Marlon Wayans is in that. He's great. Marlon Wayans is great in that movie.
Oh, yes.
And Jared Leto too.
But
He's
yeah,
out.
that's
Good movie.
I know it's a weird one to have in the top 5 favorites, but because of just how much I appreciate it, it's got to be there.
Did it help kick your drug addiction?
What drug addiction?
The one
Exactly. He cured it. Come on, Mitch. You're top 5.
The
You're
drug
5.
addiction to
Number
depression.
5.
Number 5.
Yeah, number 5 for me is Schindler's List, which of course has already been mentioned over here by Joe. Pretty much.
Good movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 5.
Schindler's List.
The Thing.
Wow.
The remake, right? Or the second remake? Or the first remake?
John Carpenter's The Thing.
The first remake.
Yes.
The 2013 one. Okay, got it.
Got the 2011. 2011.
2011, that's right.
Got it,
Wait,
got it.
1999 one.
Oh, 1939. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
1939.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I love this movie. Out of all the ones I've seen from John Carpenter's, I think this is my favorite out of his. I love it so much, especially how sci-fi and monster based. Because I was really into monsters, but especially since I've seen Godzilla, I've seen all these monster movies and Alien, which we'll get to maybe later. And I've seen. So The Thing is just such. It's so fucking amazing, and it's so frightening. It scared me so much.
That movie,
Especially how paranoid I was when I was younger, and for some reason I always thought like the thing is real. He's out there to get me. So I always watch it, and no matter how much I watch it, I still feel terrified. I'm so absorbed in. I feel like I'm in there, trapped with them, with the thing in there, but it's so cold, and I'm like, there's no way I can survive an environment like this.
That movie
It's
has
just
one of
great.
very few earned jump scares.
Yes, I know which couple scenes it could. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
but,
think
like jump scares often for me, they are very fucking cheap.
No, they're
tactics
stupid.
To scare people.
Yes.
But The Thing does
The way it
scare-
builds
does-
up.
It does jump scares so perfectly. It earns them, and it deserves to use them.
have you seen it, Mitch?
What?
The Thing?
The thing.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's,
I think that'll be a masterpiece on a rewatch for me.
I was gonna say, as much as I love Halloween, I have no problem with anyone who chooses a thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
See, for me, like
I understand too. I have no problem with
Yeah.
whoever says Halloween.
I would say it's probably his most well-made movie, but I happen
I
to
can agree with that.
I
can agree
happen
with
to
that.
love Halloween and Prince of Darkness more.
Yeah.
I totally respect that.
I'm
absolutely.
I'm biased because the Halloween movies are basically why I love horror now, like today. So
And
it's like
the
it's
thing
much
for me
more
is
like
why I like
personally-
sci-fi so much.
Yeah. So. Oh,
We forgot 2001, didn't you?
he's shaking up the list.
Because I know you.
I knew that was coming.
Number 5 for me. I don't like saying something's the best movie ever made. Everyone knows what movie I'm about to say because I talk about this movie every time we hang out. How much I love it. I made these guys watch it. Ratatouille. Raging Bull. De Niro. Pacino comes close for me, very close for being the best performance in Godfather 2. De Niro is the best performance ever committed to celluloid. You could fight me all you want. You could say Taxi Driver. You could say There Will Be Blood, Daniel Day-Lewis. You could say Marcel Toing and Ratatouille. But let me tell you,
Greg the Rat.
let me tell you that there is nothing. Everything works in that movie like perfect harmony. The camera work complements the score, which complements the acting, which complements the directing. And this huge symphony of just brutal and animalistic and violent nature of this man who's just so broken and he's just trying to find his way, but he's also kind of a scumbag. Scores. I owe my whole film career to Scorsese. That is his crowning achievement, by far. And I know we're going to hear a couple Scorsese movies from the table in a little bit by a certain person. But Raging Bull, I think, is the definitive Scorsese movie.
Yeah, I think that's, for me personally, the best made movie I've ever seen. Like,
It's the best movie
right
for
now.
you.
I think
Like the best movie I've seen. So far.
I remember when I first watched it way back in middle school. It was what got me to like. I never liked boxing. I hated boxing. I thought it was super boring. But after watching that, and then watching Rocky, and then watching
Rocky 4?
Oh yeah, Rocky 4, absolutely. And then after watching
We may or may not be talking about it.
after watching a bunch of other boxing movies, like Cinderella Man too. I remember watching
Yeah,
it
good movie.
way back when too. I just fell in love with it, and Raging Bull is definitely so good. A product of his society, product of like all this like build up, all the like how it was back then, the mentality, and oh my god, just seeing him break in the cell and touching the wall is so just distraughting.
Man.
Good. I mean, I could rewatch it now. I remember saying because I showed it to. We watched it as a group, and I think it was the first time for Mitch and Joe. And I was like, I could put this in again and watch it. And it's like that's like not a movie you should say that to, but like
It's just well done.
so good of a movie, and at least an impact on you. I remember coming home from freshman year of high school, and I remember recording all the Scorsese movies that were on the TV or movie channels, and I recorded Raging Bull, and just was amazed. Jeremy, number 4.
Number 4 is Good Will Hunting.
Goodwill VHS Hunting.
Yep, and Goodwill.
Yeah.
VHS, Good Will Hunting.
All right, good movie, Joe.
Good Will Hunting,
Are
Goodwill
we just
movie.
skipping him from now on?
No, good talk about it.
Only movie that makes me cry every time I watch it, just as hard as I did every single other time. One of us may be watching it pretty soon.
Oh yeah. I
Oh
haven't
my
seen it.
God.
I haven't seen it. That could break me. Very well. Very well.
If
could break
Eternal,
me.
Very well will.
Eternal Sunshine, then no, I'm gonna give you something.
No, give him back.
Oh, I watched
back
Give
to
it
back.
back to back.
I will
to
watch
back.
it back.
Okay.
Back. And then I'll watch the sound books.
Good Will Hunting has, I think, Williams' best live action performance. Robin Williams.
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. He's
I can't believe
fantastic.
he's dead.
in the movie. I know.
I can't believe he's dead.
I don't know how it's been.
I don't know how they resurrected him for the new Aladdin movie.
Hey, should we tell them bad news or?
Oh, they didn't?
Oh shit!
Oh, shit.
Oh my.
Well,
It's rewind time.
well,
Oh god, I wish.
Depressing movie, though.
Honestly.
here.
Now I wish we just gotten the full-length feature of Go Hunting 2 hunting season, but you know, I mean, I can't.
Roy or
complain.
Joe.
I can't complain too much, but also I wouldn't say one of the best scripts ever written, but one of my favorite scripts ever written.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think it's up there. For me, Chinatown is the best script ever. But that's up
considering
there.
it's just like two friends making a script together. Like
two boys. Two boolers.
yeah,
and then
two
they win the
boys,
Oscar.
like-
and they think Boston in their speech about 28 times.
If you just like put it into context, it is one of the best scripts ever made. If you consider just like how old they were and like just
Like 20 or something, yeah.
yeah, like I don't know if I don't think they went to like films. I don't know
They
if
definitely went to
film school.
Boston.
They definitely lived in Boston.
They definitely did not say Boston 30 times.
Oh yeah,
All right,
easily.
Joseph,
All right.
you're number 12.
Isn't it 4? 16.
Sure, Joe.
27.
All right.
It's
For
like
me,
3.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Interesting.
I am a huge Wes Anderson fan. I love
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I haven't seen it yet.
I know.
I know,
God damn
but
it.
I love the Life Aquatic.
that's gonna be your new favorite.
It was a really tough pick for me between Grand Budapest and Moonrise Kingdom.
Should have been Life Aquatic. I don't like Moonrise. That's one of the only ones I don't like.
Life Aquatic was a great ride, but for me, Grand Budapest Hotel is just is my favorite film of his.
See, that was the first one I saw of his.
It's so good.
I think that's his best at comedy.
Yeah, I'm a huge comedy fan. And this is one of those few movies that actually makes me giggle with every little joke because they're not like outright jokes, it's just reactionary.
Fucking shit.
Fucking shit. Boom. And yeah, there's like and just the bellhop in general with how quiet he is and how meek, and yet he's still kind of like, okay, sir, and just goes and does everything. And I love the colors.
Yeah.
I love how Wes Anderson just messes with colors
Have you
and symmetry in his films. And Grand Budapest Hotel, to me, it's such a beautiful movie.
Great performance by.
It's fantastic.
He's so hilarious. And then Ray Fiennes, he's so
He's
hilarious.
so good. Every single scene he's in made me giggle a little bit, and just it's just so fucking stupid and amazing.
Yeah.
And I like the story isn't bad. Like there's an actual story.
Oh
there.
yeah,
It's so.
it might be a
just-
perfect movie.
It is a perfect movie to me, and I cannot express my love and gratitude to Wes Anderson enough.
I think that's his best at comedy. I think that the Darjeeling Limited is his best at drama. And controversial pick, I think that Bottle Rocket, his first movie, is his best movie in general.
Really?
Yes, and no one thinks that at all. But that's just
Right.
me.
Mitch?
We guys Wes Anderson fans?
Yes.
I think I don't.
I
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I just find his film so aesthetic.
Have you seen? Did you see Isle of Dogs? Oh, we're supposed to watch it.
Not yet. We're supposed to
Well,
watch
Yeah,
I haven't seen Isle Dogs.
it's good.
I don't think I've seen any of his movies. I don't know.
Oh, we'll have to do a marathon.
I'll check.
I've been getting into
I
that.
would
Rushmore.
love to do
Rushmore.
it.
No.
Then you haven't seen any of them.
it.
Yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox with like Wes Anderson is probably like my favorite, Anderson movie by far.
Is that your number 4?
What's up?
What's your number 4?
Number 4 is Saving Private Ryan.
What?
Whoa!
What? We don't know him at all.
We had a theory that his number 1 was Saber Pride Ryan. What the?
Let me catch you off guard for a second here.
Three
I feel like
Spielbergs
I'm
back to
catching
back to
Oh
back.
shit! I didn't
What
realize.
the fuck?
I feel like I've been catching you guys off guard this whole time because I kind of came in as the wild.
No, because you came in without a list.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is genuinely how I feel about these movies. though.
Yeah.
All right,
Go
Saber
on.
Private Ryan. Saber Private Guy.
God.
Saving Private Guy. Private Gotti.
Saber Private. Private.
Private dude.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Gotti
Dude,
on
privates.
people's lists. Where's that going to be?
It's good. There we go. Gotti maybe like on your list.
Maybe number 2?
All right, talk about the fucking movie before I do, because I'll talk about it.
I mean, if you would like to go through and steal, like,
No, go. It's your movie. It's your top 4.
Best opening. One of the best openings.
Oh, absolutely.
The D-Day invasion, one of the best openings of all time. It's really well shot. It's not one of my favorite Spielbergs, but it's so fucking good. Tom Hanks earned this. So good. They're playing that in theaters soon. We'll have to try to go see that.
Definitely go and see
I haven't seen it, so.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, it's good. Not one of the best. I don't think it's my. It's not a. I don't love it as much as I used to, but it's really like one of the best war movies.
Definitely.
All right, thank you, Mitch, for talking about Saving Private Ryan.
That's why he's the butt of every joke.
But yeah, who here hasn't seen it besides Jeremy? Mitch or Joe, you seen it? You've seen it.
I've seen it.
Um,
My number 4
Hey,
is...
Mitch, have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
have you seen it?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Oh, boo!
I'll show
it. My
it.
number 4 is Alien.
N or S?
Alien.
You know he likes aliens more.
I like Aliens more, but Alien is a better movie.
Yeah, you got that right. It's the only good one.
He's fucking wrong.
James Cameron sucks. His best movie was Avatar.
I thought it was Terminator 3.
That's fighting words, my dude.
Whoa. That's a hot take.
He didn't do that. He didn't direct that.
Oh, really?
No.
What?
I believe it.
I believe it.
All right, talk about go.
As I already said,
Fuck this
sci-fi is definitely one of my favorite, like, genders.
All right, number 4.
Oh. Genres. One of my favorite genres.
I also assume sci-fi is a gender too. It's okay.
Probably safe to assume now.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it's okay. Alien, when I first watched it, Sigourney Weaver was like, oh my god. I had a boner. If you didn't have a boner, I don't know what to tell you. Oh god, so hot. So hot. I don't know.
But that,
Today we learned
but
that
that
Roy's
chest
penis
burster,
made this
though,
decision.
ooh, that was
Oh, dude.
sexual.
All right, we're not going to talk about this.
The way how...
Can our dicks stop making decisions?
Wait.
for us?
I thought you liked Blade Runner more than Alien.
Shake up the list.
Oh.
You don't know what we top 3. What are you doing, bud? Anyway. Shut the fuck up, Joe.
Not you, him.
Shut up.
It's like a sci-fi horror thriller base, and the way how they don't show the alien, it's like how they did it with Jaws, and they rarely show him. They show him in like these dark areas, these flashlights. They had to get this guy in this suit. It's really great how they made this movie. It's so amazing. Ridley Scott is
You're a
great.
big fan of him.
I love him. I love his works. I love a lot of his movies. And Alien is definitely one of my favorites. This whole franchise. He started this whole franchise with Alien, and it's fantastic. Especially the ending, how the action starts off, and she's like, she's not scared of it anymore. She's like, fuck it, fuck this. She's in this fucking mecha or whatever, this fucking suit thingy that like builds robots, and she just uses it, and she just takes down the fucking alien and just throws it out the fucking window.
Are you talking about
Literally.
the movie?
What?
I think you're talking about Aliens.
No, I'm talking about Alien.
That happened in
Like the
Alien.
Covenant.
That happened in
It
Alien.
happened in
It
Alien.
did happen in Alien.
It happens twice in the
I don't think
movies.
she got in the suit though. No, she did get in something.
She got in a suit, but he was
It
talking
was
about
like
the
a
mecha
it
thing.
was like a
That's
container
Aliens.
Yeah.
No, in Alien she uses 2 guns and she goes through the hive. And she's
This
like
isn't the
burning
time to
stuff.
debate what happened
That's
where.
Aliens.
Let's get
That's
down
Aliens.
to
Yeah, she goes into the
fucking
hive.
opinion.
Yeah.
That's Aliens, but
I give up.
Okay.
she's
Alien
in there
got-
and she's in escape. She's trying to escape, but the alien's there. She finds out the alien's there, and that's where we get the shot. You know the shot.
Oh yeah.
Herbert.
Oh god, that's a good shot. My favorite shot in the movie. I love Alien. That's all I gotta say.
Roy's penile decisions aside.
Shut up. My number 4. This is the last 4 info on my list, guys. I promise.
Thank God.
Shut up. It's a Polish movie
Ew. I'm kidding. Continue.
called The Double Life of Veronique, and I've recommended this, I think, to you too, quite a bit.
I don't think you recommended it to me yet. I haven't heard of it.
Well,
Real life Veronique.
you should watch it. I'm not going to say anything about it. Life, death, memories, love, compassion, sadness, tangled into a 90-minute movie. Probably the best shot movie I've ever seen in my life. What could be said? One of the best. Best female performance I've ever seen by the main lead. I won't talk about it because I really want Jeremy and Roy to watch. They're not. The other two
I
don't
wanna
watch.
watch it.
No, you guys are pieces of shit. You don't deserve it. But hey, that's my stuffing. What? There's a reason it's my favorite movie of the 90s, and I think when you guys watch it, I hope you'll be blown away. Double Life of Veronique. Give it a whirl. It's on DVD, Blu-ray. Watch it, torrent. I don't care. Just watch it and love it. I don't want to say anything because it deserves to be explored, seen. Number 3, top 3, Speed Run, baby, because we got to go see John Wick soon.
Number 3, The Departed. Martin Scorsese. This one, it's gonna be hard, but this one could very well one day move up to the 2 or 1. But it's gonna be hard because the top 2 are they're just so good. But The Departed, just my second favorite Scorsese movie, maybe my first. I don't know. We'll see.
You fucking idiot. You're a nodding, teething fucking rat.
Jack Nicholson's fantastic.
I got this. gnawing, teething, fucking. Who hasn't seen it?
What?
Departed.
I've not.
Okay, well, I won't spoil anything.
Joe's a gnawing, teething,
But there are
fucking rat.
some unexpected
Boobs.
scenes.
Oh, no,
Unfortunately, it was spoiled for me before I watched it. But
who did that?
some YouTube video. I don't remember.
Oh, that's what you get. That's what you get, dumbass.
Mongol boy.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Stop
Mongol.
saying that.
Either way, doesn't even though it was spoiled for me beforehand, it still didn't change how great the movie is. And every time I watch it, it just gets better and better. I watched that. That's probably another one of the most rewatchable movies ever. Honestly, I watch them at least once every 2 months at least. Love The Departed.
Yeah, it's a good movie. That's the movie that got me into movies. That and Hitchcock.
Oh. Well, none of them are on the fucking list. I'm mad now. That's what happens when you fucking make a list, but then
Top 7, Joe.
I had it and I lost it because I was laughing.
That's what you get for not writing it down.
I know. Oh, what the fuck was it?
Number
Was that-
3.
Number 3.
I haven't heard Bad
I'm
Times
so
yet.
bad with names, dude. Oh, 10 Cloverfield Lane, actually. Because
I haven't seen it.
10 Cloverfield Lane's
Yeah, no
actually
spoiler.
a
I
good
haven't seen
fucking
it.
movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's actually
I
a
believe you.
fantastic
I
movie.
believe you. Looks
John
great.
Goodman is
John Goodman's
So
in it,
good,
yes.
man.
the antagonist. And there's just, and I'll give you the premise. It's a girl in the beginning of the invasion. She's seeking shelter. She crashes her truck. It turns out John Goodman got her. He's like, I'm helping you. He kidnapped her. And the entire movie is her dealing with the psychological aspect of dealing with a helpful Goodman.
Thanks for telling that she got kidnapped.
That's not a fucking spoiler.
Yeah,
it
it
happens
is.
in the first 5 minutes.
I don't care.
Oh my god.
I will admit, I didn't want to see the trailer. They know.
I haven't
They
seen
Know
the
what's
trailer.
happening.
And then it's not a fucking spoiler.
Hey, it's definitely not Cloverfield Paradox. That's for sure. That
No,
movie's
it's-
better. Probably
Alright,
better.
Let me finish.
It's definitely not Overlord.
Alright, let me fucking finish. It's just, it's honestly a fantastic movie, and I think John Goodman pulls a perfect villain. And it's got some twists, it's got some turns, but the overwhelming feeling of claustrophobia you get from her being in this situation, and just the overall situation itself, I really enjoyed it, and I gotta watch it again because I love that movie.
I think his best villain performance is Dan Connor and Roseanne. Mitch, what's your what's your top 3? What's your 3?
Such a fucking
What if I was-
Dan died that year. Come on.
Well, number 3, I put The Great Dictator.
Huh.
odd choice.
I like it.
You like it?
Well,
You like it, black and white boy.
You're liking
over
this so
here.
far?
That's speech. The ending.
You're liking White Boy? But yeah.
Never seen it.
You're sentenced it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, I give you. Yeah, that's what your sentence will be. But
Never seen it. Terrible.
He has a really wide,
Chaplin. It's Chaplin.
wide
Yeah.
variety of
Chaplin.
movies
You'll-
coming his way
you'll
in the next
enjoy it.
week.
Chaplin's not terrible. Don't you dare say that to me or I'll kick your ass.
Especially this movie. This movie, no,
So
you
you give her
cannot.
St. Pair of blue socks.
I'd say it sucked. I just said Black Swan was better than Black Swan or Perfect Blue ripped off Black Swan.
Black blue.
He has to watch Chaplin and Spotless Mind the same week.
He might kill himself.
All
All right, okay, so yeah, Great Dictator is amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's a Joe movie. I
You
honestly,
think that's more of a Joe movie?
Probably.
I feel like you would enjoy it though.
because you're smart. Go on.
Thanks.
Go on.
Go on.
You sure? No, I'm good. Hey, Roy, you can go.
There you go. Okay, I guess that's
All right,
it.
it's an amazing
Give her
movie.
a
It's
Roy.
not
Where
one
do
of
we go?
it's not one of my favorite Chaplins, but it's a near masterpiece. That just shows how good Charlie Chaplin is.
Okay.
Number 3.
About time. Number 3. One of my favorite animes of all time. Silent Voice. It came out really recently, 2016.
Oh, your number 1?
No, my number 1 is different. Different anime. It's not what you thought it was.
Yeah, it isn't. I thought I knew
No,
your top 2.
no, it's not. My number 3, Silent Voice. It's a new anime. Came out 2016. It's a female director. And this anime, it made me cry multiple times no matter how many times I see it, because it's so personal. I never seen a movie this personal ever. I never knew there was even a story that was that affected me this hard. Because it deals so the synopsis is this guy, he's a bullies this chick, and he goes through so much trauma and so much shit. He becomes targeted later, and then he punishes himself for being a bully, and he wants to commit suicide. It's just so great, and the way how this story builds, it's like a romance type way, and the way how they animate things, like there's big X's on like people's faces because he doesn't want to look at them at the eye, because that's how he belittles himself so much for what he's done, and he pulls himself so way down, and that's how I kind of was at first. I had a really terrible childhood. That's all I gotta say. All I gotta say is that I was a bully. Learned the hard way.
He still is.
I'm right now. They're all chained up, and I'm forcing them to do this podcast right now. There's guns to their heads. Don't send help. Don't call me.
I've had the gun in my own head the whole time.
I love it, and no matter how many times I watch the ending where he's crying up, I cry all the time because it's like that's me. I'm crying right now.
Interesting.
Real fast before you start, is it cool if I were to use the charger before we go see John Wick?
No.
No,
ask
delay.
me on the
You
fucking-
should have done it.
Well,
Yeah,
You should have done it.
You should have done it.
You should have.
My
done
phone's
it.
charging. It's dead.
oh, it's that? Oh.
Yeah, it was dead.
Alright, well.
You gotta wait.
I gotta wait. All right.
Glad to know that Mitch just didn't use it beforehand,
Oh,
like an
sorry.
idiot.
Is that what it is?
That is what it is.
You're number
Mitch.
3.
My number 3. God,
We're
why?
running a long time.
We're cutting him out.
Running a
Number
long
3,
time, baby.
The Deer Hunter. The best war movie of all time. It handles the psyche of soldiers going into Vietnam. Only shows us about 30 to 40 minutes of them in Vietnam, which is perfect because we can see like Apocalypse Now. We can see Full Metal Jacket. We see Platoon. We can see those movies of how they're in the war. But this movie focuses its lens more on the before and aftermath, and how De Niro, Walken, and John Savage, I believe, are able to show how different they are in each 3 sections of the movie is incredible. There's not a time that movie where I don't think I'm like not dry-eyed. Like the ending, one of the saddest things I've ever seen. It gets me every goddamn time. It's a roller coaster. It's a 3-hour, 4-minute long movie, and it doesn't hold up. It doesn't let you go. It was my favorite movie for about a fourth of my life. A fourth of my life. I've been obsessed with this movie, and I
totally understand. Because my number one's, I'm obsessed with it too.
I don't think there'll ever be a time where this is not in my top 3. Top 2.
I was gonna say definitely watch Jacob's Ladder too. That's another good movie about the effects of the Vietnam War.
No. Number 2. We're in the home stretch. Let's do this.
Number 2,
Paul Blart.
Goodfellas, my favorite Martin Scorsese.
Blart.
Paul Blart, Cop
Blart,
2,
Blart,
Electric
Blart.
Boogaloo.
Good. Hey, we're doing Goodfellas sequel. Henry Hill, he's out, baby.
Causing mischief once again.
That's all you need to say about Goodfellas.
Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't
Being
seen.
funny?
Think I'm a clown like I amuse
I
you?
remember the name of the movie.
God.
What, Goodfellas?
No, the movie that I was going to do for my number 2.
Okay, who hasn't seen Goodfellas? Good, smart.
Good. Hey, we got a
Good,
bunch, we
bunch
got
of
a bunch
Goodfellas.
of Goodfellas here.
Hey! So Scorsese's best for you.
Insert Ray Liotta laughing meme.
All right, that's all you got to say. It's
Favorite
favorite movie, perhaps.
It's my number 1 actually.
All right,
It can't.
you very well could.
I'll talk about that the next one. But
All right,
Goodfellas.
Joseph.
All right,
Perfect
my number
movie.
2. This one's actually a very recent film. It's The Nice Guys.
Train to Busan's not on your goddamn list.
Or Bad Times.
Or
No, it's not on my list. No,
Joe, you make no sense.
No, you make no sense.
all right, talk about Nice Guys. I've seen
Alright.
it. It's good.
in the time that that I actually was able to see it on demand, I watched it maybe 10 times because it's a hilarious movie. It's supposed to be a drama and a mystery, which it does well. But I also think it functions so perfectly as a comedy.
It's supposed to be a comedy.
I know, and that buddy detective duo It's not really buddies. They kind of just know each other because one broke the other's fucking arm.
Oh, it's hilarious. Ryan Gosling's screaming is
Ryan
hilarious.
Gosling is one of my favorite actors.
Then watch La La Land.
I fucking hate musicals!
You're watching Mamma Mia, so
God damn it!
you are fucking watching
Mamma Mia is a treasure, and you're gonna fucking love it.
I know!
Okay. I'm with Joe on this one. I'm not watching Mamma Mia.
No, you are. You are.
Oh, you're watching.
No. You made me watch fucking Serbian film. You are watching Mamma Mia, you piece of
And then you're gonna
shit.
watch Mamma Mia too, and you're gonna cry.
And you're gonna cry
like a little bitch.
You are.
I also am making them watch Audition too.
I'm with them because Jeremy's a piece of fucking shit.
All right, Nice Guys, amazing.
It's a hilarious movie.
2.
To go back with the whole movie thing and whatnot with like La La Land, I am going to be pulling the whole little Switzerland card. So I'm just
No, you're watching La La Land and you're watching Mamma Mia. I don't fucking care.
It's like I'm going to remain neutral. It's like I'm not going to say that. I don't
No,
watch
you're
them.
just gonna watch. No, just say you're gonna watch them. Just say you're gonna watch them. Just say because you know you're going to.
Watching it.
You know you're gonna have to.
I'm remaining neutral.
No, shut the fuck up. You're gonna watch them. You're watching. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Okay.
Good. What's your 2?
Okay. Taxi Driver.
Interesting.
I didn't even know he's seen that fucking movie. Oh, you watched it because of me.
Yeah. Head ass. Yeah, I did.
Well, you should thank him.
Yeah, you should thank me because it's amazing.
I will say though, you are still a head ass. I would just like to point that out.
He didn't say thank you.
Didn't say thank you.
She said she's gonna make me watch La La Land.
And Mamma Mia.
Hey, wait. And Mamma Mia? Mamma Mia?
You're watching.
Oh
Mamma-
no, you don't roll your eyes at me about Mamma Mia.
I've seen it.
You're watching Mamma Mia too. You're gonna cry like a little bitch. You are. Okay. That's it.
Okay, we can forgive her because she likes Red at 20.
I don't care.
No.
Mamma Mia's amazing.
Mamma Mia's great.
It's not.
I don't care what you think,
No, it's
Joe.
awful, but it's a great, beautiful movie.
It's the most funniest, stupidest movie I've
All
ever
right, talk
seen.
about Taxi Driver.
Just
Talk
fucking continue your
about
fucking
Taxi Driver.
Enough about motherfucking Mia.
Like,
Taxi drivers.
You break on my glass, I break on your face.
granted, I have seen like a few Scorsese
Not to be
films.
confused with driver.
But that, of course.
Or Baby Driver.
Yeah, there we go.
No,
Yeah,
that one talk.
Fuck that movie. Go on. Come on. Talk about Taxi Driver.
As I said, like I have seen like a few Scorsese movies with like Raging Bull, and of course Taxi Driver, as I just mentioned, The Departed.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, of course, is soon to be on
There's
that
a
list.
bunch. There's been a lot of movies.
Wait, you haven't seen Goodfellas?
I've told you this.
I thought you've seen it.
No,
He hasn't seen
I've
it.
told you this.
I asked who hasn't seen
No,
Goodfellas, and
no,
he's just like,
no. I was like, yeah. I was like, I haven't seen it.
you're done. You're done. You're
Next
done.
person.
Next person.
Number 2 for me.
Which there's 2 it could be. Can I say whether it could
Yes.
Blade Runner or 2001?
2001 Space Odyssey.
Not a musical.
Hey,
Although it very well could be.
Very well could be. It very well could
Because
be.
of the score.
Oh my god. I remember when I was like really young watching this, it scared me so much. Like I had fear of AI and I just the way it's done, the way they do the movie, the way how they make it, the way it looks, the way it's filmed, the way it feels,
The way it be.
the way it be. It
Kubrick's
feels
best?
so- I don't want to say it, but maybe. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. But I just every time I rewatch it, I kind of cry a little bit.
It's so beautiful.
It's just
Seen
marvelous.
it.
I have it on
Yes.
4K, and I can't wait
Seen
to
it?
watch it on 4K.
That I have.
It's just so marvelous. And being in space, I love like space stories because it feels so claustrophobic. You feel like you can die at any moment because there's no vacuum in air. There's nothing. You die instantly.
It is a vacuum.
It's just so great. And if you haven't seen it, I totally recommend it. Probably one of the best.
I saw that in theaters.
I wish I saw it in theaters.
I was able to see it.
I
IMAX.
wish.
IMAX.
I can only
We're
pray.
kind of close on time here.
Well, don't worry. Chill. We got 20 minutes.
All right, number 2, Jack.
Chill. We got time. I'm gonna take my sweet time, Joe.
Alright.
We're good. Don't worry.
We'll
We're gonna
see
see.
John
we will see
Wick.
John Wick. Calm down. And I'm gonna
3.
give it. I'm gonna give it a half star just to piss you
I
off.
don't give a shit what you rate.
2001. It might be the best movie. You know what I mean? Like
It's just so good.
it's yeah. We have a tie, and I have to explain myself because my favorite director is this guy named Terrence Malick, And I can go two separate movies because one is a more personal movie for me, and one is it's the best. And the one that's the best is a movie called Days of Heaven. That is the best shot movie I've ever seen in my life. And I no ifs, ands, buts. I know I said like Double Life and Raging Bull. This movie, it's a paint. You can take a picture of any frame of that movie. It looks like a painting. I don't know how the fuck he did it. It's like about these people. This guy kills his foreman, his higher ranking, like in Chicago in 1910, and then his girlfriend, and his little sister go on the run to Texas, where they meet a farmer. They get employed by a farmer. A whole bunch of people get employed by this farmer, and he's dying, and the brother wants his girlfriend to marry the farmer. That way, when he dies, they get the wealth, and shit just hits the fan. That is just chef kiss. And the movie that's personal for me, the one I could switch to, is a movie called To the Wonder. Like Joe, I happen to suffer from very bad depression. And when I saw this movie, I was in a really bad funk in my life. Bitches be bitches, I guess. And this movie kind of told me not to be afraid of the idea of loving people anymore. And to just kind of like go on and just live life. It's just it's an experimental movie, so the narrative isn't quite as straightforward as like The Nice Guys or Goodfellas or something like that. It's more kind of loose and poetic and lucid, I guess you could call it.
It's a good word.
I can't explain it. It just has this. It's the only.
It's just got this quality. That
yes,
so strong.
It's not that beloved, but it came to me at a right time in my life, I think.
And that's all that matters, guys. Like, I feel like we've been taking this list as like, what are some of the best movies of all time?
No, these are my favorites.
I know, but like a lot of
it was best.
Super high.
Well, no, my favorite movies happen to be things that are high quality. I can't help that.
No, I'm not talking about you in general.
Name names.
All of us.
Exactly. But yeah, it's the only recent movie I have on my list. It's the only movie I have made after I was born. So fun fact for that. I love it. I love it to death. I love both those movies. So they could easily. I try to limit myself to one per director, or else a whole bunch could be on this list. But I had to do it. I had to do that tie for now, at least. So number 2, Days of Heaven, and To the Wonder by Terrence Malick. We finally reached it. Number 1, our favorite movie of all time. Take it away, Jeremy. What is your? Everyone knows it. Say it. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Moondog!
Beach Bum. Beach Bum is my favorite movie of all time.
All right.
Yep.
Do we even have to explain it?
We could talk about Pulp Fiction. We should
Yeah,
talk. We should.
I'll talk about Pulp Fiction.
Joe.
So Joe, bad times. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. Talk about.
This movie, I watched this, I think, sophomore year, because Christian, one of my friends, my friends, was trying to get me to start watching Tarantino movies. I watched this movie for the first time, and
You watched it at the sleepover, didn't you?
No,
or his party.
Nope, by myself at my house on my PS Vita, or my neighbor's PS Vita that I still have that I stole. But
That's
whatever.
not important right now.
Yeah. We'll talk about Tyler Vino later on.
All right.
In a different
podcast.
Teasers.
Podcast. And I finished the movie, and I was just like, "What the fuck did I just watch? What? I've never seen a movie like that before.
Never seen Pulp Fiction.
I'd never seen Pulp Fiction before. I was like, I just saw Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
But I was like, I gotta watch it again in a couple days. A couple days later, I watched it again. End credits start rolling. Favorite movie of all time.
It's been that
since sophomore year of high school. It's been like what, 4 or 5 years now?
No,
six
seven.
years. 6 or 7 years. 6 or 7 years. Goodfellas. It's sort of kind of interchangeable at times. Goodfellas and Pulp Fiction, but Pulp Fiction has always been right there. That movie just, to me, is absolutely perfect. You got Samuel L. Jackson, John Travolta, Bruce Willis, Christopher Walken, Uma.
Oh, that's my favorite Tarantino too.
It's just
flawed.
what can I say about it? To me, it's a flawless movie.
No, I agree.
Flawless movie.
It's a masterpiece.
In my opinion,
Best script.
best script ever written.
Yeah.
That I've ever seen. Movie I've seen. My favorite script ever written. My favorite, I can pick three or four, maybe even 5 scenes in that movie that are my favorite scenes of all time. Just
The Gimp 5 times.
Gimp. I told you about that remake we're gonna do. Zach Michaels is supposed to be the Gimp.
I love it. But Pulp Fiction.
Zach Michaels is a fat man that we know. But
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Favorite movie of all time.
All right, for me, this one's fairly obvious.
Just say Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski.
Trying to be
All right, we talked about it.
No,
You
I
didn't.
didn't-
All
I
right,
didn't
just
talk
talk about it. Talk about
Just
it.
talk.
Talk about it.
All right, so I love Jeff Bridges. I love the character. I love the message it sends. I'm kind of just like, fuck it, live your life, and just enjoy what you have.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff
I'm gonna see
Jeff
Jeff
Bridges.
Bridges like Clint Eastwood.
And then John Goodman again, amazing character.
That's my favorite performance of his.
Yeah. And mine too.
Ooh, I don't know. John Goodman has a lot of good
Well, he really does. But I think the PTSD suffering Vietnam vet which he managed to make funny is just amazing.
Yeah, fantastic movie. This is where I don't know. Mitch.
What's
Any
your
guesses? Any
What's your
guesses before
favorite
I
movie?
Any
What's
guesses
your
before
number
I say
one
it?
favorite? I
Bad
don't
Time.
know.
If it's Bad Times, I'm.
Green Book?
Oh my God! No, God,
What
no.
is it?
Any guesses?
I don't know.
fucking say
Just
it.
say it. We have
Vertigo.
no time. We have 0 time.
Vertigo.
No, I put Shawshank.
Oh, good pick.
Shawshank.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
Huh.
Good pick.
Interesting. Oh,
Nothing
why?
to be said about that
Why?
movie except for the fact that it's actually fucking perfect.
Exactly.
It's a really good movie.
Don't you dare. Don't
What?
ruin it for me.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I haven't seen it. I was about to say,
He
I wasn't
He
good.
just
I
said
wasn't
it's a
good.
He just said it's a
Just
perfect
said it was
movie.
a perfect movie.
Fucking
Yeah,
retard.
Godfather Part 2 is a perfect movie. I love it.
Hey, well, go,
Alright, just go on.
into detail. I'm really curious. I did not expect.
Yeah,
this.
talk about it a little
Yes,
bit.
I
Talk.
didn't
Talk.
expect this.
I
Yeah,
don't
talk
know,
about it a
man.
little bit.
I don't know you.
Basically just the idea how it's like, you know, whenever you just happen to go find yourself in like a dark place or whatever else, sort of like how, you know,
Yeah.
Red and everybody else over there in Shawshank sort of look at themselves. And then, of course, get to the point where it's also like, as soon as you just happen to go, like, believe in something, like, anything can sort of, like, anything can happen, like, if you go through and, like, put your mind to it. Sort of like how Andy Dufresne ended up, like, breaking out of Shawshank. You know what I'm saying?
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers
It's
for
been
those of you
out
that
for so
haven't
fucking
seen it,
long.
but, you know, I
Pretty
mean,
sure
essentially it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, you can just get out of any situation if you end up, like, sort of putting your mind to it, really.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
You know? Short
Not
and
a
sweet.
favorite, but I like it.
Short and sweet.
What is
Well-
it, Roy?
I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this is my number one because everybody says it. Everyone in the anime community says it. It's so tiring. It's so fucking retarded. I hate
Just
it
say
so
it.
long. Genesis Evangelion.
Get it. Sum it up. Give it to us. Give it.
Perfect movie. Perfect anime movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's not. It shouldn't be fair because it's a whole anime show and then it's the movie, and this movie wraps up all the tie-ins and it's the most fucked up, the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It took me like 4 or 5 watches to truly like connect to everything.
No, it's your favorite.
It's absolutely. There's nothing I can't really. I have to go into depth. It's like a whole hour by itself to talk about it, and I don't have the time. All I gotta know, it's a masterpiece beyond belief.
All right. My favorite movie of all time.
Can I take a guess?
Sure.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Ratatouille is my favorite movie of all time. No,
Got
it's a
it.
Wonderful Life.
Good guess.
I like movies
I
that
already knew it.
I think everyone knew that. For me, just I don't like movies that make me feel fun. You know, I like movies that are like, oh my god, so fuzzy, and like, but I like movies that like I feel real to me. This movie makes me feel fuzzy and real. George Bailey is my favorite character. Like you with Mike, George Bailey is my favorite because I can relate to him in a sense. That for me is my favorite performance in a movie. I don't think that movie. Who hates that movie? Who hates It's a Wonderful Life? Like
People do.
It's like who hates it with Wizard of Oz
who hates exactly?
Yeah, it's
It's
or
just
Willy Wonka.
it's just one of those movies that I think everyone loves or everyone can love.
yeah.
Even if you don't like it as much as me.
It's very universal and very timeless.
I wish I could come up with something better. It's like, oh, this is my favorite movie, and I have 5 others that I said.
Oh, there's
6.
a bunch. I feel bad after saying everything.
Yeah, there's like 6
I didn't
other.
say Blade Runner. I didn't say
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell. I didn't say Ghost in the Shell. Blade Runner. There's so many.
There are 6 other movies that I said are my favorite. Like 6 through 2 were good contenders, but it has to.
I didn't say Police Story. That's absolutely one of my favorites. That should have been in the top 10. I love Police Story. I love Jackie Chan. That's his best work.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Best Jackie Chan movie.
Best Jackie Chan movie of all time.
All right, that's the title.
This is
It's a Wonderful Life.
This-
Best Jackie Chan movie.
It's a Wonderful Life. Best Jackie Chan movie of all time. That's a wrap for our inaugural episode of Save It for the Podcast. We'll come back to you guys hopefully in a week. Hopefully.
No, we're not.
Probably talking about the shittiest people we know.
No, that's
I know, I'm
stupid.
kidding.
Maybe we'll talk. We'll figure a topic out.
Do our movie club.
Yeah, we'll talk about our movie club. We have been sentenced.
Bunch of movies.
Our movie club we'll talk about.
Don't worry about it.
We'll talk about a movie called The Terrorizers, perhaps, by Edward Yang. You can watch that on Amazon Prime. We're all going to be watching
We'll
that.
also do funny games.
And we'll also be talking about funny games next week a little bit more in depth because Joe and Mitch are going to watch it. That's it. I'm Jack, joined together with Jeremy, Roy, Mitch, and Joe. Adios, senoritas.
Also my dogs.
Yeet. Play us out. Keyboard cat.